Hello, everyone. Welcome to part 2 of 24-hour/clue sprints. Let us know what you're reading. We're gonna kind of do the circle. So I'm reading The Replacement Wife by Darby Kane, and I'm really excited. It actually looks quite long, but it's only 400 pages. Well, that's still kind of long, but
the is kind of big.
Yeah, and the pages are like those, you can't tell, but like the ones that are.
It's a
like
bit more substance to it.
Yeah, so it looks longer than it is. But Neva, you read this, right?
I read everything that she has.
Did you like this one?
Yeah, everything. Okay. So everything that I've read by her so far, I've given 5 stars.
Oh my gosh! Okay, I mean that's amazing.
Like she's truly probably my favorite thriller writer.
Mm-hmm.
I think. But yeah, everything I've read by her, I've given 5 stars. But for different reasons, because none of her books are the same.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If that makes sense. So they're all psychological, like domestic thrillers.
Yeah.
But they're all distinctly different characters, different premises. It's not like some thriller authors where you get like this it's like the same formula over and over again. They just like change the names of the characters. Like they're distinctly different books.
Okay, that's good to know. Because I read Pretty Little Wife, and that's the first one I read from Darby Kane, and I gave that 5. So
yeah, and that's her debut as a thriller author.
Okay.
It's Pretty Little Wife. And that one was so good. But probably my favorite, like if I had to pick a favorite, because Katy asked.
Yeah.
If I had to pick a favorite, it would be The Last Invitation. But it's just because like the murder mystery party part of it was so like intriguing to me. Like I got it in the mail and I read it within a week of receiving it. So.
Oh wow. Okay. I pre-ordered them all and I have Engagement Party pre-ordered, but I don't read them right away. I do that with everything.
I swear to God, she's the only author that I like read it. And I didn't wait for like the audio or the ebook. Like I didn't try to get it from the library. I just like sat on my couch and read the physical book, which like I read physical books, clearly not, but I read that one physically.
Okay, well that's good. Okay, I hope I love it.
I am not sure what I'm reading just yet. I haven't started a book yet. I'm leaning towards The Late Mrs. Willoughby by Claudia Gray. It's the second book in the kind of Darcy retelling, Darcy and Tilney, like they're a mystery duo. It's set in like the Jane Austen canon. The first book was The Murder of Mr. Wickham, which I really adored. And so I'm trying to read as many books as I purchased in 2023 as possible. So I have fewer to enter 2024 in. But the thing is, it would be a physical read, which is fine. I typically read physically anyway, but during this readathon, it's just been very helpful to have audiobooks. And so I had to put myself on hold for the audio. So we'll see. I might peruse my shelves and see if I can find like a more readily available audiobook. But at the moment, I'm thinking of The Late Mrs. Willoughby.
Nice. And this is room 6 for you as well? You're on?
Yes, it's for room 6. Woohoo!
Neva, what are you reading?
I am reading something. You're welcome. Death by Dumpling. That's what I'm reading. Which I actually did receive from Nell for my birthday, but it fits my room 6 prompt. So I promptly went to the library, Libby, and I said, Libby, do you have this on audiobook? And it said, yes, borrow now. So that's what we did. So yeah, I'm going to finish doing these dishes. I'm probably going to go like lay down during the first sprint just because I did not sleep well last night. And then I'm determined to finish the last 1.5 sections of this stupid dime painting so I don't have to look at it anymore. Except that I might have to still look at it because Ari wants it hung on her wall. And this girl's skin is not brown. Okay? It is red. Like
it looked red, so I feel like things aren't changing at this point.
Yeah, when I finish it, like I will hold it up for the camera. Like I'll stand in my kitchen because there's room in here. The camera, it is wow. And there's actually a spot. Here's what upsets me, bro. There's a spot because there's like this blue like light, right? It like reminds me of like maybe like a strobe light or like something like that, like something you would see like at like a like at like a disco or like in a club or whatever,
Mhm.
that goes like around her body, which like it's a cool element. But where it intersects like this is like down here, like at the bottom of her, like down here, right? Because she's wearing like a crop top. And there is a section where it's supposed to be shadowed by this light where they use light browns. So you cannot tell me that y'all could not have given me colors that match the rendering, because the rendering even looks brown. Like when you look at it on the website, it looks brown. When I looked at it, I can't really show you now because like it's covered in diamonds, but I took a picture of a spot. I think I sent it to the besties group chat, but I took a picture of the spot, a spot where there was a lot of her skin, and even like the rendering on the canvas looks brown, but then you lay all the drills down and they are red and orange. So I don't know. And like luckily the other one is not like that I have upstairs, because if it was, I wouldn't even pull it out. But the other one has like actual browns in it, so I'm hoping that means her skin will be brown, because the finishes that I've seen of that one, her skin is brown.
Yeah.
So I would just like to know why they like archived the other one that I have and not this one. Like I would have archived this one.
Yeah.
And called it a day. But yeah, it's fine. I will finish it today and then we will move on to something else.
Do you know when you're doing next?
So I have my Randall Spangler, my other one. It's called Huggable, and it's like a little dragling, which is what his little dragon characters are called.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like he's standing like this, like he's gonna give you a hug, so that's cute. I'm doing that one for Night Court November. And I'm trying to decide because I won a giveaway for the first time ever in my life. I don't win giveaways. But I won like the first like YouTube giveaway for Night Court November. So they're sending me like some wax, like wax. It's called We Wax is a company, but it's like diamond painting wax, which I've been wanting to try, but this wax sells out. Like she re-ups the first Friday of the month and then they sell out like really fast. It's impossible to get them. So I want to like have a kit to do when that comes. But then I also have my other square Harry Potter kit that I can finish. Which like the first section of that is done because I had to wait for new drills to come, but that's kitted up. And then I could kit up the one that ML and Ollie sent, but I don't know if I want to kit up another one because I do have that other big one in my closet. And then I have 2 more that are coming, so we're not going to talk about that. I ordered the 10th Doctor, like from Doctor Who. So it's like David Tennant's Doctor, and it's by Mandy Manzano, and she does a lot of like panels, like stained glass panels. So it's like a stained glass painting of David Tennant as Doctor Who. And then I also ordered a Christmas one for Jingle Drills. I didn't think I was going to do Jingle Drills, but they had a black Santa. So I was like, I have to get this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm waiting for those to come.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just so everyone knows, too, the reason why I'm muting myself is because apparently my landlord is having maintenance done the apartment next to me and didn't think to tell me. And so there keeps being like weird sounds. And so when I mute myself, I promise I'm engaging. It's just I don't want you all to hear whatever's happening.
When I said Black Santa, you were like, so I was like, oh, clearly she can hear me. But something's happening.
I just figured there was background noise, and that's, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to try and prevent you all from having to hear whatever I'm hearing. But, because why? Why would a landlord want to warn their tenants that they're doing this major construction? I don't know. It's crazy. Crazy, I know. Anywho.
At least it's a reasonable hour and not like 6 or 7 a.m. in the morning. That would be like ridiculous. So
yeah.
Leandra would be fighting people at that point. She'd be like, excuse me. She would just be throwing her underhanded shade. I'd
get like my heaviest book and be like, how dare you?
No, don't ruin the book.
That's true. Too precious. You're right. Sacrilege.
Hello, Vanessa. What are you reading?
So is a part 125 points.
Hi, Julie. Still reading This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan at 48%. I have not read anything from Kennedy Ryan, but I have, is it Before I Let Go? Is that what it's called?
I don't know.
I think it's Before I Let Go.
I think so
recognize the
too.
name.
Before We Let Go.
Something, yeah, Before We Let Go, Before I Let Go, something like
She was
that.
talking about this because this one comes out in March. She's reading an arc of it.
Oh, this is the second one then, because I think they're interconnected or something.
Yeah, this is the second one. She was talking about it on My Sprint. So this is like the second one, yeah.
Hello, hope everyone is well. Got pulled over from Neva's. Oh, I thought you meant pulled over like in the car. I was like, oh no.
I would be like, excuse me, ma'am. I hope you're not watching Sprint while you're driving. Or if you are, don't pay so much attention that you get pulled over.
Still looking for a book, bumped into the like. Thank you. About to start making hot dogs and baked beans. Nice. Maybe that's where the food talk came from. We were just talking behind the scenes about how
it's because Coda said that they were on lunch, and I asked what was for lunch, and then we started talking about sloppy joes. That's where it started.
Okay. I could have went back and figured it out, but
I got nosy about what people were eating, and so that everybody started talking about food.
Okay, got it.
The origin of the conversation is
there. On lunch for another 30 minutes. If I read any, it will be The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. It's okay. So far, I'm about halfway through, and it waxes and wanes on exciting. Oh, that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, okay, I'm the weird one, bro. I gave this book 5 stars. I'm not. I did. I gave it 5 stars. Okay. A lot of people were like, "This is a trash book." I don't know. I love a good villain origin story, and I feel like that's what they gave us. And I don't like. I mean, you're not supposed to like President Snow, because it's Snow before he was the president. So it's Snow as like a teenager during the 10th annual Hunger Games, and he's one of like the people in charge. Like he's like Haymitch, right? So like in the Hunger Games, like we had Haymitch that was like not their sponsor, but he was like in charge of them.
Mentor, kind of.
Their mentor, yeah. So that's basically what it is like the rich kids are the mentors. That's how they used to do it before they had like the district winners be the mentors. And yeah, I don't know. I felt like it was a good villain origin story. But I mean, I guess if you were expecting
something else,
to be likable, no, he's not a likable person.
Yeah.
Even as a child, he's not likable.
Finding the love story to be kind of so you loved it, Neva? The love story part?
The love story was I don't know. Okay. Here's the thing. I liked the main female character whose name I can't remember right now, because do I remember names ever? No.
Names literally lose right away.
I liked her, and she was like a nomad, roaming from one place to another. So she wasn't technically part of the district that she was picked up in, because she's not part of any district. Like she's kind of like they're their own people. I liked the characters on their own. I don't know that I really necessarily gave 2 shits about the love story part of it. I mean, I think it was necessary because that's kind of what turns him into the villain. Because he's not really, like, he's not a great person. Like, he's affluent, so he thinks that he's, like, owed something throughout the book. But it really what breaks him is the love and the heartbreak type thing. But, like, that wasn't, like, the make it for me.
So, oh, okay.
Yeah.
We'll be listening to Heartbreaker still. Came over from Neva Sprints and working on my crochet. Nice. I need to read Heartbreaker. I was actually in the bookstore today, and I was debating it, but I'm trying not to buy as many books. So I'm like, I could just get it from the library. So I was going to get a gift for someone, so I wasn't buying anything for myself, but I ended up still buying 2 books for myself. But anyway, so I'm like, oh yeah, let's like not buy books, and I ended up buying books anyway. But I bought the Remarkably Bright Creatures. Have you heard of or read that? Anyone?
I haven't read it, but I've heard of it.
And then I bought The Throne of the Fallen, which is the same author that writes Kingdom of the Wicked,
Mm-hmm.
the series. So
Remarkably Bright Creatures has like the octopus on it. Yes,
fun.
that's what I thought. I hear, you know what? I heard from someone who did the audiobook of that, said the audiobook was really good.
Okay.
So if you want to do an immersive read, maybe as you're physically reading it, like the voice of the octopus apparently is great.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying not to buy, and then I'm like, I still bought books, so I'm like the worst.
I know. That is the same.
Hello. Just asking what we're reading.
Mm-hmm.
This probably came in before we said, but if not, if you want us to repeat, just let us know. I'm reading on Spine of Death by Tamara Berry and Hot Ice by Nora Roberts. That'll be my Room 5 book. Nice.
Woohoo. Hello,
welcome. What are you reading? Oh, there. Cold Mountain by Charles Frazier. I have not read this or heard of it, actually.
I feel like I recognize the title, but I have not read it, so I know nothing about it.
Good morning, Nicole. Saying hello. Hello. Excited because Iron Flame will work for our new room prompt, and I was only 30% into it, so I don't have to stop reading it again. I'm both excited and nervous to finally get through it. Yeah, I'm putting this one off till December. I think Rainy and I are going to buddy read it together, but I just want to give it enough time. I don't want to rush through it, so I'm just like, I'm 700 pages, so I'm just waiting on that.
That's smart. That makes sense.
Yes, you can.
Yes, I saw someone post this today. Yeah.
Well, apparently it was like you could. I think it was a read now. I think it was an option for read now for 24 hours yesterday.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Because like on the read now, listen now sections, you can like download them right away. And I think that's what was happening. But you can still request it. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was like anyone could get it at that point.
Yeah. And it was for like 24 hours yesterday or something.
Yeah, I do remember.
But it is still a book that you can request if you want it.
Mm-hmm. Haven't had hot dogs in a hot minute. Same. I think it was like literally like 7 years ago the last time I had a hot dog, which is insane. But I choose hamburgers over hot dogs always. Like I'm not a big hot dog person, so.
Yeah, I'm having cheeseburgers tonight, so actually it's great.
I haven't even thought that far yet. I don't know what I'm having. I'll be working on my bakery rivals to lovers. I know what this means. WIP. Neva, what is it?
Work in progress.
Oh, it's not the same. What's yours stand for when you say WIP? For your
work
blog?
In progress.
Oh, it is. Okay.
So work in progress can be anything. So in this
I think it was something else.
In this context, it looks like this is like a writing work in progress. Okay. But like we would also call like if I have a diamond painting that I'm working on, that would be considered a whip or a work in progress.
Mm-hmm.
Cole has a lot of like cross stitch whips. It's just whatever you're working on.
Right. I don't know why I mixed it because I know you title yours whip and chat, so I don't know why I just started thinking.
Yeah, so because a whip and chat is just me working on a work in progress and then talking nonsense to the camera for an hour.
I had no idea that when you were saying like whip and chat, WIP stands for WIP, work in progress. This is new to me.
I had to Google
I don't know why I didn't understand that.
What is this? Is a week in? I was trying to figure it out, so I Googled it.
So like when whip stitch, isn't that a thing? Maybe I got confused with that.
Yeah, a whip stitch is a thing, but
it's its own thing. But I think I was combining it, being like, oh, craftiness.
Well, like at the beginning of my whip and chats, I'll say like, today I'm doing a whip and chat. Whip stands for work in progress. Chat stands for chat.
I've never processed it. I'm just like, oh, This is like crafty lingo. I don't know what this is. That's it. I was like,
I
okay.
was like, I'm just here to listen to you talk to me.
Literally, I was like, you could channel whatever, and I'm still gonna watch it. So
Yeah, genuinely.
it's a rare moment where I'm craving a hot dog, but never saying she doesn't like hot dogs. And Beans reminded me that sounds delicious.
Mm.
Hello, just joined. Going to use the next sprints to start Ella. So I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I hope you enjoy it. Oops, sorry, autocorrect your name, Neva. I didn't even notice that it was spelled wrong.
It's fine. It always autocorrects my name. It's
Yeah,
fine.
that's like my name. It's like
literally,
it turns it to EY always.
literally for some reason, some people's phones autocorrect Neva to Nevada, which I'm like, that's not even. That's like four different. That's like 3 or 4 more letters than what they're trying.
You keep going. It's like, no, I ended on the first A. No more. Mine for Leandra, like there was a time when iPhones were changing it to Landrace, and I was like, this is so annoying. Landrace, I don't know what that is, but
yes, it used to do that for me.
Yeah, it's very
It would
frustrating.
change to Landrace, and I'm like, where are you even getting that from? Out of Leandra? Where are you? No,
I don't know.
Autocorrect.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're just talking in the chat. I don't have any problems with the origin story or Snow's character himself. I just think the love thing was too soon abrupt.
That's fair. That is fair. It is very insta lovey, because I don't know. I mean, I don't know how else it could have been written, to be honest. Just because of like the nature of the Hunger Games. Like, I don't know if there would have been another way for Suzanne Collins to have written this love story, right? But I think that what we got used to with the original trilogy was that it was not insta-lovey. Like, we knew that her and Gail had feelings for each other, but they'd known each other since childhood. And we knew that her and Peta had a crush on her, but we know that her attraction, love, whatever, for him grew throughout the books. Which, if you've never read them, they've been out for a long time. So like by the end, like Peta and Katniss get married, right? So, and like have kids and shit. So like, but it wasn't insta lovey. Like, it took her, like she was pissed off that he was using that to begin with. So like, it wasn't an insta lovey thing. And with this one, it definitely is very much like, I don't know you, but now I'm in love with you. Like, it's very.
Yeah, I'm not big on insta love.
So that I did find that to be a little bit like jarring, but I don't know if that's because it was actually jarring. You know what I mean? Or if I was like, okay, but in the original trilogy, like, we didn't get insta love. Like, that shit had to develop.
Yeah, I'm not much of a fan of insta love either. Even like with like, the rom-coms, contemporary, I get it. We're meant to kind of just go into it. But if they've only been like known each other for like 2 weeks and like a significant amount of the time they haven't really been together, if they're like, oh, I love you, I'm like, can't you just say I like you? Like, that's totally fine. I would be very satisfied if 2 people at the end of a romance, if they've only known each other a week, to be like, I really like you. Like, you don't have to say I love you after a week. Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. I agree. Loved remarkably bright creatures. Well, good. I'm glad. I honestly did not go there to buy books for myself, and just, on the way out, they have that section of books on sale and recommended books and all that. That's where things went wrong. So
yeah, that's how they get you.
Yeah. The audiobook is great. Okay. I'll definitely listen to that on audio as well. I assumed it was going to be part of his villain character development, but I found it unrealistic in its development or lack of. It just needs to pick up a bit. I'm only halfway through. Well, that sucks.
I mean, it does pick up. It should start picking up. But yes, the love that he has for what, I don't remember what the fuck her name is. Lucy, is that her name? The love that the love story aspect of this definitely is what becomes his villain era. Okay, he enters the villain era, but I will say it is very insta lovey and unrealistic the way that it's written.
Okay.
But I just like went with it because it's also a fantasy. Well, it's dystopian, but like a lot of times dystopians are like that. So
Hello, Bree. Reading Fragile Threads of Power today. Not Lovey, unfortunately. Oh, that sucks. Is this your room 6 prompt book? I'm also trying to avoid buying books before the end of the year. It's hard. Yeah, that's what I was saying in a sprint recently. I was like, I'm trying to add them to my wish list instead. And then this is why I don't go in the bookstore often, because I will end up buying books. So I try to order online, but it happened. I mean, they were on sale, so that's okay. I don't dislike it. I just hoped it would be harder to put down, I guess. Well, we've all this month kind of I had a lot of 5 stars, and then it's kind of gone downhill recently. I just finished Midnight is the Darkest Hour and 2-starred it. So yeah. So things are going down. I was at my 5-star and now going down, but I'm hoping that Replacement Wife, it'll be a 5-star. That's what I'm anticipating. So
yeah, my most recent, like for the rooms, was a 2-star. So I understand it wasn't, but before that I was so lucky. I was behind on my bullet journal, and so I started looking and I realized that I had hit my 100th book of the year, which is very exciting. But it ended up being The Affair of the Mysterious Letter, which I gave 5 stars, and then the one I just finished was the 2-star 101. And I was like, oh, I would have been so disappointed if I found out my 100th book was the 2-star. So yeah, I dodged a bullet.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to get, like, I didn't expect this month to get all like 5 stars by any means. I expected it would kind of be up and down, but when I was getting like 5-star, I was like, oh, something's gonna go very downhill. And it did. It just happens. Especially when we're reading so much. It's like it's bound to happen where you're gonna read. Especially to hit prompts, you're not reading all of the same types of books too, right? To hit the prompts. So yeah. Me too. I will get mine in December 6th, 2023. I will place a book from the Libby Library app. What was this about? Was this about?
this is the new Darby Kane book.
Okay, because I was like, I think it's December something.
It comes out on the 5th. Okay. But I pre-ordered it because I pre-ordered all of her stuff. So,
but again, I'm probably not going to read it right away. Well, no, I can't read it right away because it's a book club book for January for me. So,
listen, I'm gonna have self-control.
It's okay if not. You could like read it in advance and just put your thoughts in the Discord, and then we'll see them when.
I mean, if I don't have self-control, then I will just like get the audio, because I think I pre-ordered the audio too, like with a credit. I don't pre-order like Audible audiobooks without like having credits, but I'd had a bunch of credits at one point, and so I had like pre-ordered a bunch of books.
Yeah. Vanessa had pancakes for dinner. Nice. I love having breakfast for dinner sometimes. It's the best, easiest meal. Had Chick-fil-A and had fish and chips and sweet tea. Nice. No soda for me, too much sugar. I'm not a big soda person, actually. I don't often have it.
Yeah, me neither.
Don't look at me, because I drink soda. Like,
yeah, that's okay. I'm not saying I don't have my other bad addictions. It's we've got for one, but
yeah.
I did not know what WIP stood for either. Yeah, I was confused. I was trying to like week in, and then I like Googled it, but then again, yeah, you said it during when I started watching.
WIP is just a term that people use in like the writing community and then in the crafting community. It's just how we distinguish between like finished things that we have, because like especially like in diamond painting world, like you have like your finished diamond paintings, you have your diamond paintings that are just in your stash, right? They're just like hanging out. They haven't been unboxed. Well, they might have been unboxed on a channel, but like they haven't been kitted up. They haven't been like set up to be worked on, right?
Yeah.
Some people, I don't do this, but some people like keep their canvases and their diamonds like in separate places. I don't do this. That gives me actual anxiety. So like my like unopened diamond paintings, the ones I'm not working on, they stay in their box. And then when I know that I'm going to work on a diamond painting, I pull the canvas out and lay it out flat and let it flatten out overnight.
Yeah.
And then kit it up, like, or I'll kit it up and then let it sit overnight and then work on it like the next day or whatever. But we have like those that are just like chilling, like just hanging out in the stash, you know what I mean? Kind of like our books hang out on the shelves. And then we have our whips, which are the ones that we're working on, which I mean, I have 1, 2, 3, I guess I have 4 whips currently. I mean, I have seen, I don't know them, but like I've seen them like on YouTube where they have like 8+ whips. Couldn't be me. I would literally jump off a bridge. Actually, honestly, 4 is giving me a bit of anxiety.
That's like people who have like 12 books and they're currently reading Rainy and Brittany, if you're watching.
Like actually having 4 work in progresses is kind of driving me nuts.
Yeah.
But the only reason that I do is because I had pulled that big one out, and technically 1 of the 4 or 2 of the 4 are those big ones.
Okay.
But they're not sitting in my face. Well, this one is because I have to finish it. But like the other one's not sitting in my face, so I don't think of it as a work in progress, even though it technically is.
Yeah.
So really, I only have 2 that I'm actively working on once this other one is done. Yeah.
Okay. Should have explained more. What was this about?
No idea.
I don't know what part this was about.
Lost into the conversation abyss.
I know. Whip Stitch has a age though. Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, but I honestly, again, because I never really saw it written down, I honestly always thought I thought it was the same thing.
And I think
said whip in chat in my mind.
I think Whip Stitch.
Yeah.
I think Whip Stitch is sewing.
Okay.
Is that sewing or is it? It's either sewing or knitting. I don't know because I can only do like a good old fashioned knit stitch. Like I can't do anything fancy when it comes to knitting. Okay, I can knit baby blankets and washcloths. That's about all you're getting out of me. I can knit. I just don't knit well. You know.
Hello. Just logged my books for room 1 and 2. Now to pick up my room 3 book, which I made sure to keep under 50%. Nice. You're catching up quickly. Now I want whipped cream, maybe on hot cocoa. Oh, that'd be so nice. Yeah.
That sounds lovely.
Oops. Mine goes to keying. Oh, this was for the autocorrect. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Kiana. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
So frustrating.
My name just spells like my dad will always text me like and I'll autocorrect on his Android to EY. And then he'll like send another text like to correct my name. And I'm like, oh, it's fine. Like I already know that like you know how to spell my name, I hope. So
yeah, it's like you were a part of the process of naming me. So hopefully.
Yeah. So I mean like it's you don't have to correct each time. I'm so used to it because autocorrect does it a lot. And I realize that my name's kind of like not the normal spelling. So I kind of just am used to people spelling it EY half the time. Autocorrect has some wild thoughts about what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I know. Well, it's sad when like autocorrect doesn't even know what you're trying to say. Like you just assume that it's going to fix it and then it's just a nightmare.
Yeah. It suddenly decides it doesn't work and it's like, okay, what do you want from me?
It's like the one time you have to text something really quick and then it's like, oh no, I'm not going to autocorrect anything. Hi, Jean. Almost finished work. Excited to go see Jagged Little Pill, the musical. Nice. My niece is 21, thinks that she discovered Alanis Morissette. Well, I hope you have a great time. Please say real whip and not Cool Whip. Christina, LOL. I think Cool Whip tastes like vegetable oil. Yeah, I don't like Cool Whip, to be honest.
So here's a fun fact. I only like Cool Whip. So you buy Cool Whip from the frozen section. At least in America, you do.
Yeah.
So I only like it if it's been in the freezer, but I eat it like ice cream. I don't use it like whipped cream.
Interesting. Okay.
Like I'll
I
just like
haven't
take a
heard that.
spoon and like eat it out of the container. But it has to be like fresh from the like it has to have been in the freezer.
Okay, not like defrosted.
Because some people put it in the fridge, like
Yeah.
to use it as like whipped cream. Once
Yeah.
it starts to kind of like thaw, I'm like, hey, I'm back in the freezer.
Yeah.
But I do eat it like ice cream.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I used to grab the like we'd get like frozen fries, like the Oreo or whatever it's called, and then I'd go in there and grab a frozen fry and like just eat it frozen.
Yeah.
I know. I don't know. I haven't done it in a really long time. When I was a kid, whenever my parents would be like, "Oh, Leandra, do you want a frozen fry?" I'd be like, "Yes."
Ari used to
Funny.
eat corn dogs frozen. Like she wouldn't eat them heated up. So what she would do is she would eat all the breading off, and then she would want the hot dog part heated up.
Wow. Okay.
I mean,
yeah.
if you
I
ask her
don't
about
like
it now,
cold. I don't like eating food that cold. Like I was not one to like eat an ice cube. You know how a lot of people like
yeah,
chew
she
on an ice
loves
cube. That's not me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
think
if
it's
you
because I have
ask her-
sensitive teeth from braces. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's not gonna work for me.
if you ask her about it now, she'll tell you she never did it, but she definitely did. Like I have photos of her eating frozen corn dogs. And I was like, this is disgusting. But like they're fully cooked, so like what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. If she wants to have it, whatever. I did not hate the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, but one thing I did not like is they made it way too much like Katniss and Peeta's story. I wanted it more different. Yeah, I find like if you've read too many books with the same sort of plot line, it's just
I mean,
kind of annoying.
truthfully, I didn't find the love story in Songbirds and Snakes to be anything like Katniss and Peeta.
Oh, okay. It's so interesting how people
Personally.
read the same book and have such different thoughts.
Because like with Katniss and Peeta, they were in the games together, and one of them already had feelings for the other, and the other had to develop said feelings.
Okay.
In Songbirds and Snakes, they don't know each other until like he's going to be her mentor or whatever, but he doesn't know who she is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so there's no like expectation necessarily for them to fall in love. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Whereas in Hunger Games there was, so
Yeah.
I can totally do insta love, totally believe in it, but there needs to be some depth for it to be believable. There needs to be some internal thoughts or something to convince the reader, I think. Yeah, there's definitely ways it's done like better. It's not my typical like most loved trope by any means, but if it's done well, I can kind of get on board with it and it'll still work. I won't dislike a book because of it. Make me feel it if you want it to be real. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, I'm coming in from Dr. B's sprints. I will be trying to finish up Dead as a Doornail. Currently, I'm about 147 out of 295 pages. Nice. Lucy Gray. Is this the character in the?
Well,
okay.
I mean,
I have no idea.
The whole Baird thing is, I think, supposed to be a play off of like a bard, which is in D&D world at least is like someone who sings. That like it's a singer songwriter. So I think that's what I mean. Her name didn't personally bother me at all. But like I also remember names? No. So
That is true. Neva have self-control. Never joking.
Sometimes I do have self-control. I still haven't opened that kit from ML and Ollie because I was like, because I was going to kit it up as soon as it came, like as soon as like I got it and everything. But then I was like, well, you need to film like some clips of the stuff you got, and then I was like, but also if I kit that up, then that gives me 2 square kits at once.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm not doing that. So it's just sitting. It's in the living room, but it's just like sitting in the box.
Well, if you don't want to do it right now, yeah, don't open it because then you're going to want to. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Neva, what does it mean to kit up? I'm doing my 3rd ever diamond painting right now.
All right, so kitting up is just when you take the diamonds that come, like, if you have, like, I mean, really any diamond painting, they usually come, some of them will come in baggies. Like, I think, Paint Gem, I think, sends them actually, like, in little Ziploc baggies. But, like, Diamond Art Club, the diamonds all come, like, in a string of, like, vacuum sealed or heat sealed bags, and you cut the bags open, and then you pour them either into baggies that come in your kit or into your own, like, storage containers. So kitting up is just when like, it's just when you sort your diamonds. So, like, I kit mine up into like a storage container system that has 4 different sizes of containers, and then they all lay flat, like, in, hold on.
Hi, Amy. I'm going to be reading The Last Devil to Die, number 4 in the Thursday Murder Club for room 6. I want to read this series so bad. Have you read it, Leandra?
I have, and unfortunately, I'm not a huge fan of it.
Okay.
I'm so sorry, Amy. I thought Thursday Murder Club, the first one, gave it, like, I think I gave it 4 stars when I first read it, and then upon reflection, I think it's more of a 3. And then I just recently, about a month or 2 ago, tried to get back into it and read book 2, and I ended up DNFing it. And it wasn't really necessarily my choice. I was listening to it on Libby, and then the audiobook left, off on its own.
Yeah.
And I just had no motivation to keep going. And so I ended up DNFing it, and I gave away my books. But I know it's a huge popular series. Brittany loves it. Yeah, I was going to say Brittany and I are usually on the same page too. I don't know. I just wasn't vibing with Elizabeth, one of the main characters. Like, her personality just really grated on me. All the other characters I really liked. I think the problem is in book 2, she becomes more present, and I couldn't do it. But that's just me. I know a lot of people love the series.
Okay, to answer that last question, I went to go grab this so that I can just show you, because
Oh, okay, yes.
Right. Okay, so this is my storage container that I use. Okay, I have like 4 of these things. So they come in 4 different. They have 4 different size, like, little containers in here. So I put all my diamonds in whatever size. I try to use the smaller sizes first, just because I don't really love working out of the big ones. But they come, like, trying to see if I have all 4 sizes here. All right, so they come like this. These are the 4 different size containers. So you have, like, a small one, a medium one, a large one, and then the extra large. Obviously, this doesn't have very many diamonds in it anymore because this was the whole background color. But when you kit everything up into, when I say kit up, I just mean that you put all of your diamonds into whatever storage you're using. So some people do work out of baggies. I don't, because I'm clumsy. And if I work out of baggies, I will spill them all over myself, the floor, and anything else that exists around me. But you also don't have to buy these. Like, I have some that are like tic tac boxes, which I know that's like what Krystal uses, are the tic tac boxes. You can get ones like this. You can get ones that are like cylinder. Like, Mariah has ones that they came like in a zipper case, and they're like round, and they have like screw tops. But to kit up is just to put all your diamonds in some storage. That's it. And then, I mean, I like prep my canvas. Like, I lay release paper on it because I don't like the crinkly plastic.
Okay.
You're welcome. All this diamond lingo.
Me currently reading 12 books. Yeah, I mean, do what you want. It just stresses me out to think of that. My max, I think, was 4, and that stressed me out. So, yeah. Whip stitch is sewing or any needlework? I don't know. I don't know the answer if you're asking the question.
I think she's saying.
No, she's saying that that's what it is.
Okay.
Because I said earlier that I was pretty sure that whip stitch was in sewing.
Okay.
So, like, if you're sewing by hand or sewing with a sewing machine, you could use it. I don't know what the fuck you would use a whip stitch for, but you can use it, apparently. I know nothing about sewing. Thank you.
Yeah, I sewed like as a child, but not in a while.
I can sew a button. That's about it.
I'm still in my room 3. That's okay. Like everyone goes their own pace. There's people who have read 20 books from the 48-hour challenge in my group, and I'm like, I submitted 2. So we're all at different paces, so it's totally fine. And it's for fun too. It's not like we're winning anything besides just like you won. So don't stress yourself out. Like take time off if you need it. I usually do Ready Whip if I buy it, never Cool Whip, but I like to make my own. Yeah, making your own sounds like a good idea. Saying hello. I love the Thursday Murder Club series. Yeah, it's hit or miss with people. It really is.
And the thing is I knew the author, or not that I know the author, but I knew the author as a comedian first.
Oh,
I really like him on like British panel shows. I really enjoyed him like prior to him becoming an author. And so I was really excited to support him. And it just, his writing style just doesn't match with me. I'm still going to support him as a comedian though. Like I really like him and his other work. Just, it doesn't vibe with me.
Okay, that sucks. But yeah, it's just how it is sometimes. Hi, Ro. What are you reading? No worries. I love the series a lot, but I know a lot of people who don't. Yeah, I've heard very mixed. A lot of people that I know personally, though, have really liked it. So that gives me hope, hopefully.
Yeah, it came out during a time when I think we all needed kind of cozier, like mystery wholesomeness. And so, yeah, like I totally understand why a lot of people enjoy it. Like I thought the first book was fine. I did like it a lot. I just think I found other series that's similar, like the Marlowe Murder Club. Amy, if you're interested, I really like that one. And so I think that one's lesser known, but it's by the same creator of Death in Paradise, if you're a fan of that show.
Hi, I'm done teaching for the day and home. Nice. I will spend the next 4 or so hours getting my house together before my spouse gets home from their work trip. Nice. Who is hosting the 24-hour sprint? So Neva is like creator, and then like it's kind of on different channels every 4 hours.
Yeah. So yeah, we've been doing this the last couple of months where we jump. That way I can take a nap.
Yeah. And hopefully we get through the comments because I'm like, I feel that you're getting tired. I can tell. Let's run through these. Dishes, laundry, bedding, all of it. Yeah, it's one of those clean days. They can't know how incapable I was of keeping things together.
Oil's secret is safe with me because I definitely was the one that received messages.
Well, at least you're cleaning before they get back because the worst is coming home to a dirty house. Like at least you're getting. See, I don't care if I leave and my boyfriend at least cleans it up before I get back. I'm like, no problem. I don't care how you kept it the whole time, but as long as it's clean, like moderately, it doesn't need to be like.
Yeah, I don't care what the house looked like while I was gone. You could have had a whole kegger in here. I really don't care, but just like.
But as long as it's like decent when I get back.
Yeah.
I'm working out of baggies. Thank you for sharing your storage containers. I put a storage container on my Christmas wish list since I'll be doing more of these.
Yeah, it's no problem. I am gonna be recording some videos here in the next couple of weeks. November kind of got away from me because I meant to start this in November. And November kind of got away from me with the readathon and stuff. But definitely by like the first week of December, I will start filming some videos. They're gonna be very like this series is literally going to be called Diamond Painting for Beginners from a Beginner.
I love that because I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, I'm not like, Katy from like Diamonds and Washi who's been diamond painting since like the pandemic or whatever. Like I'm not that person. I've been diamond painting now for like 2 months. So like this is very much like us learning together, I guess. But I do have a couple of different storage solutions that I will show, and I'm gonna try to range it from like what was the least expensive to the most expensive, because I will say that these Elizabeth Ward containers are the most expensive. They range between like $20 and $45 depending on. I didn't spend more than about $25 on any of them, but I caught them on Amazon when they were like on sale or whatever, which is what I suggest you do if you're gonna get these. but I know there's like knockoffs on AliExpress and Temu of this like a similar storage solution. And I mean, I'll share in that video like which ones are my favorite ones, which I mean you probably already know because they're the only ones I use, but it's fine. And like why I didn't like the other ones because I do have reasons. Like I'm not like that person that's like I'm a container snob. Like I really was just like I just need to find something that like works. Like I don't really care what that is. I just need something that worked. And then I mean we'll talk about like upgraded stuff. I mean I have like bougie pens. Like I don't expect anyone to buy like the pens that I bought. I did it on a whim because I wanted to try it, but I paid like $100 for that custom Harley Quinn pen. So like that's like expensive. But you can get them like on Amazon. Like I have some that are from Amazon that work fine. Like whatever. But there will be like a series coming out if you want to watch that. You don't have to watch it, but if you want to watch it.
I don't even diamond paint. I'll be watching it. Because I'm interested to see. Well, even if I wasn't interested, I'd watch anyway, but I am interested to see the process.
The support, honestly. Kelsey's like, I'll watch all your videos no matter what they are. And Kelsey is so loyal. She always be watching and commenting. And I'm like, I know you did not give two shits about this dark romance vlog that I just uploaded, but thank you so much.
I know sometimes I get behind, but like lately I've been catching up and watching while I work. Because especially with your ones where you're diamond paint, I don't have to actually watch the whole like I kind of like look and like listen and then like just like keep it
and like really because all you're watching with a Wibben chat is just me diamond painting.
Yeah.
So like if you don't want to watch
like a podcast almost.
Yeah, you don't need to watch it because I'm not doing anything. I mean I am, but like unless you
like if I turn and then like 5 minutes later I check back, it's like there you see the progress, but you're not missing a whole
anything. Yeah. Some people like I guess actually watch me the entire time, like watch my hand diamond paint the entire time, which like I'm sorry because I mean I'm a quick diamond painter, but that's still gotta be like boring, just like watching my hand.
I don't think I like watching crafty stuff, even though I don't personally do it. I like watching it. So
yeah, the same with like bullet journals, like when people are doing their little things, you're mostly just seeing their hand do stuff, and I still just sit there and watch.
I do want to
almost.
Yeah,
I do want to get like an arm, like a phone arm that like clamps to the side of my lap desk, because I want to be able. Because right now I'm just using a tripod that I have like tilted, so like the top, like the phone, like the part that the phone sits in, it can tilt, but I don't feel like I get close enough. Like
that's
I can't.
What I was thinking. Yeah, like I wish sometimes it was a bit closer. Yeah,
because then you could actually see like the symbols and like what I'm doing. I feel like it's too far, but like I'm working with what I have at the moment. But I do want to. I mean, they're only like $20 for this stupid arm things, and then I can just use it for my Kindle also inside of my bed.
I just love the old characters. Yeah, I love old people. That sounds weird, but like I love talking to old people. I used to actually want to work in a retirement home. Like I love chatting with old people. So like
they have
it's a good feel.
So I mean, I feel like I don't know how to explain it. I just love their stories is basically what like they like just go on about these like stories from their life and stuff like that. Like I love that part of it. I don't like rude old people. I will clarify. I don't like the ones that like are very like entitled and like, you know, those types. But I guess that's people in general. Like I don't like people who are like that in general.
Yeah, so I don't like young people who are like that too, I guess. I know.
Yeah. So like but I think a lot of people think that like all old people are like very entitled and that's not always the case whatsoever. Like there's a lot of like sweeter old people who I love hearing their stories. Like before my grandparents passed away, I loved just like chatting with them and like doing a puzzle and they're just like telling me about like different things that happened in their life. So I feel like I just would really like the Thursday Murder Club. Yeah, that's what it's called.
Thursday Murder Club. Yeah.
Like, am I forgetting the name? Because Brittany said that that's kind of like it's very like entertaining and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a lot of humors in it. Actually, there's a lot of humor about like, you know, the older generation trying to keep up with this hip new generation. And so it is really fun. It's really funny. I adore old people in stories. It's very quirky. But as I said, there was just one that graded me the wrong way, and that was Elizabeth. But I love Joyce. I loved Ibrahim, and there's one more that I can't remember his name, but like I really loved most of the characters. It's just that one Elizabeth that I couldn't get behind. She frustrated me. So yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll get around to it later. Like I loved like I kind of like grumpy old characters like A Man Called Ove. Like I really like that.
Yes, that was
I
great.
love that kind of character, so I think I would really like it. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. I think you'll like it too.
I'm reading the E-Dragon, or no, that's not E-Dragon. Eragon illustrated edition. The art is great. Nice.
The electronic dragon.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I know. I'm already starting to read things distorted, but we've been on for an hour, so that makes sense. How many hours are left? So it goes until noon EST tomorrow. So it's me, and then it's Bree from 8 to 12. And then 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. it's Tina. And then 4 to 8 is Nicole, Dusty Book Sniffers. And then 8 to 12 p.m. is the Word Nerd. So it's all in the playlist. If you go over to Neva's channel, they're all linked there under her playlist. So yeah, part 2 of 6. And I'll link part 3 when we get kind of closer to the end. Sometimes you just need space with another beginner to start a hobby, so that sounds like a great idea. Yeah.
Honestly, I only had this idea after talking to Nicole, like on Thursday sprints, when she and I do sprints. Because when I was looking for diamond painting stuff, it was all people that already knew what they were doing, and they really were trying to like come from like a beginner viewpoint, but like you could tell they like, I don't know, sometimes like when people try to give you like beginner tips, you can tell that they've been doing it for a long time, and so it's almost like they're like either they try to rush it or they almost sound like annoyed that they have to like backtrack. You know what I'm saying? I will say that I have to rethink how I'm going to show upgraded accessories, because the like trinket tray and like the pen trough and stuff that I have, you can still get those things, but you can't get them customized anymore from the person that I got them from. They're from an Etsy shop. But she posted like maybe like a week ago on her Instagram that she's been really overwhelmed with trying to keep up with like her normal drops plus custom orders, because she was dropping custom orders in between her normal drops.
Okay.
So I probably will include that the ones that I got are custom, but that you can't get them custom anymore. Like you can still get all the same things, like the little accessory holder and the trinket tray. What do I have? A trinket tray, an accessory holder, and a pen trough. And I have like the trash minder, but that like came with, it was like matching with the trinket tray. You can get those things, you just can't get them customized anymore. So I have to think about how I'm gonna like pitch that. Plus, like I don't have a ton of upgraded accessories. Like I really only have that stuff, and then my pens. I guess I have 2 pens that are like upgraded, like bougie pens, and then I have like Amazon pens. But like most of what I upgraded was like my putty and my wax.
Okay.
We're not even going to talk about how much putty I have at this point that I can't even use right now because it's so cold outside that it's like as hard as a rock. So it's fine.
No problem. Used to do music therapy for aged care. It was so rewarding, and tea and chats after were so inspiring. Yeah. Okay. So someone else gets it. I'm like, is it weird to say I love old people? Like,
no, I like to talk to old people.
Yeah.
I just don't like crotchety old people.
That's exactly what I was trying to say. I don't like grouchy. Well, I like grouchy in like a book, like the like Ove, like that kind of.
He's the
like,
only
in real life, I don't like that type of. But I guess that goes for all people. Like I just don't like people like that. It's not just old people.
He like, I don't know. He almost like deserved to be crotchety.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like he had like a reason to be.
And he was like humorous grouchy. It wasn't like full on.
Yeah, like the things that he said.
Still a good person. I don't know. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like there's being like kind of crotchety and just still being good. I don't know. Like there's a difference between being good and being kind. Like just because you're kind doesn't mean you're good. Just because you're good, I don't know. Anyway.
Yes. Elizabeth's story is the best. It's so sad. Oh, and then I hate that you didn't like it, but
Yeah, and I agree, and I think that's I've got such a mixed feelings about it because I was like, I want to feel for Elizabeth so badly, but then she does something, and I'm like, girl, you're annoying me. It's just and even in book 2, at the beginning of book 2, I cried not because of something happening with Elizabeth, but with another one of the characters, and I was like, this guy is making me feel all these emotions, but then at the end I fall back to this kind of like resting place of frustration. And so I agree, there are some really like heart-wrenching parts of Elizabeth, but I think that's it. Whatever the case was, I just kept getting mixed feelings about her, and I was like, I can't keep going because every time I feel bad for her, I then suddenly get really annoyed with her, and I'm like, this isn't good.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so we are going to jump into our sprint finally.
Yes.
I'm still gonna stick with 45 because I have to do an hour the second sprint because I have to run out during that time. Neva, if you want to nap and don't want to come back during, totally fair. So
I will be taking a nap. So, I mean, I'll be back before the end of your sprints, but like,
okay.
I might not be back for the second chatty bit.
Yeah, totally fine. Fair. Okay, so I will see everyone in 45. Hello.
Hello.
How'd you do?
Well, I chose a book, which is great. I ended up choosing. It's called Hungry Ghosts.
Nice.
Yeah, it's by Kevin Jared Hussein. Apparently, it's a Caribbean literature, Caribbean author. That it's like a murder mystery too, and so there's going to be a bunch of bonus points, which I'm really excited about.
Nice. Yeah.
I found the audiobook. So right now I'm just physically reading it as I'm chilling out, but like when I'm cooking, I can switch to the audiobook, which I'm very excited about. Yeah, so I only got 23 pages though, so I'm solidly in it.
Yeah, that's good. Where did I get to? So I had dinner, so I didn't read that much, but I got 24 pages in, so that's pretty good. So where are we? Ready Whip is legit. I've never heard of that type.
Yeah, the can, I think. The can spray.
Oh, okay. I don't know
It's
if we
brand, I think. Yeah.
I don't know if we have that brand in Canada.
Mm.
Back at work, y'all, I paused to watch the rest of the chatty bit, but when it gets to the front, I'll probably hop off until I'm off. Okay, no problem. Fair to play on Bard and Bird. I get it. I just think it sounds silly. I'm so glad they just call her Lucy Gray for the majority of it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Rainy, at dress rehearsal, good luck, because Rainy was really, really sick. I'm sure you're off now, Rainy, but I'm hoping you're feeling better. Oh, Rainy's reading Now This True is True. I love this book so much. I gave it 5 stars. It was so good.
Mm-hmm. But she said she's doing it just for fun because she realized it doesn't count.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh well.
Room 5, but I already checked out of Libby and there's a long wait after, so I got to read it. Honestly, it was such a quick read. I read it in like max 2 days, I think. And I'm like a slower reader than Rainy.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Rainy can finish it pretty quickly. Hey Lexi, just got home from work, going to take a shower, and then need to finish my Room 5 book. Okay, now I'm not feeling, I felt like I was really behind, just not getting any bonus books so far. And I've kept up with the rooms for the most part, but I'm not reading any bonus books. And I thought like everyone's reading bonus books and ahead. So I'm feeling like we're all kind of like doing pretty good. Like,
yeah, I think only out of 2 of the rooms so far that we've completed. So there's been 5 rooms we're done with our giving. We're on 6. I've only done bonus books for 2 of the rooms because I just haven't had time, which is
I've been picking larger books, so that's kind of put me at a disadvantage, but I guess it also gives more points to my team, so it could be good or bad. But I find like a lot of like even this, it was very hard to find the prompt this time. This is the hardest prompt that I've had so far for me.
Yeah, I wonder what it is. It'll be interesting to find out.
And then I was like, wait a second, this will work. And I've been wanting to read this forever, so I'm like, good excuse to read it. So have you found like which room was don't spill, but like room number did you find the hardest for you so far?
So the one that it took me the longest to find a book to just like figure out what I'm reading, that one, like the prompt was easy if you had something readily available, but I didn't, and so I had to be like scouring around, didn't even have any titles in mind. That one was, I think it was our room 2, I can't even remember at this point, and it the book I read was Don't Hate the Player, and I feel like people can kind of assume what that is. So that one was hard for me just because it took me like an entire day. I was just trying to figure out, and then and then it was like evening that Friday, I think, when it dropped. I finally was like, okay, Friday evening, I finally have a book that so it was a lot easier for other people. I don't have it on my shelf, those types of books. So that was tough for me. This one was tough because it's an element where if you aren't familiar with the book, you wouldn't know if it exists, if that makes sense. Like it's an element in a book that isn't super obvious compared to other things. And so that might have given it away if you've already been in this room. But I was like, I don't know potentially until I start the book or if someone tells me. And so that was
I had one like that, so I'm not sure if it's the same one.
Mhm.
Could be, could not be.
Mhm.
There could be multiple like that. Yeah. I'm actually finding it very like weirdly fun to like try to find what to read.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah, for sure.
My brother came back with food, so only finished 3 chapters. Still, that's progress. I think there's always a dinner sprint, so this might
Yeah.
have been it.
Mhm.
I only got 24 pages read that sprint. My goal is 100 before getting ready to go out for the day. Okay, well, good luck. Has Leandra decided on how she wants to sabotage other teams?
No. I feel like I'm sure that those who are on Plum will kind of agree. Like I'm doing my best to be competitive. I'm doing my best to be kind of sneaky and but I don't. I think probably all are like, oh, she's a mouse. She hasn't. This isn't my villain story yet. I don't think this readathon's going to turn me into the villain. But who knows? We still have half a month to go. So maybe I'll figure out a way to sabotage. But I'll tell you right now, I have come up to nothing. I have no thoughts in my brain.
52% of what we kept to ourselves for room 3. Nice.
Ooh, nice.
75% into book 6. I keep wanting to use Sad Cypress. I might just give it and read it as a bonus book. Yeah, totally. If you have time, read it.
Yeah. I will say, Chris, I can't remember which team you're on, but I am sure Sad Cypress is one of my host favorites. So depending on those kind of bonus points that you want to hold off on. But it's also a really quick read, and you could always choose a different Agatha Christie that follows Poirot for the host favorite because it's a series. So, and she's a quick read, so you could always read a different Poirot one for that one for me.
Yeah. Because if you use it as a bonus, it doesn't count as like a host. Like if it's a host favorite, it has to be a prompt, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yes. Yeah. So
Yeah,
like if you use it as a bonus book, it
Yeah.
all of the extra points for if it's like BIPOC author or host favorite or murder mystery are all kind of null and void.
Yeah.
So yeah, you almost have to like if you're going to read something that's involved with the host favorite, you might as well almost try to save it for a room prompt. But then the question is, will it fit? I know that
That's the
Cypress
thing.
has fit rooms before. I'll give you a kindness, Chris, and tell you that at least in the rooms that Team Plum has been in, at least one that I can remember, Sad Cypress did count. But I don't know if you've already been in that room and you didn't realize it, or who knows.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Going to Jag Little Pill with my niece and cousin. Left the sprints on TV. Thanks, Jean, and enjoy.
Yeah, have fun.
Kelsey, I'm way behind, so you're doing great. Okay. I always feel like because with my job, I can't read while working. And I work like a 9 to 5 kind of job. So I only get the time after that to read. And I'm not big on like audiobooks I can do for memoirs, but other than that, like I need to kind of either listen and do nothing or read and listen at the same time. So I can't often
like multitask while you're doing other stuff.
Yeah, unless it's a memoir where I can, if I don't have to listen to like a lot of like thrillers have like key details that you cannot miss. So it's hard, but I mean, at least I'm keeping up with like other people. Like we're all kind of, especially the hosts, I find like we're all kind of like, on the same wavelength. I thought I'm gonna be so like down here, and they're gonna be like throwing in the bonus books, but all of us have been pretty much on the same wavelength, so that's been great. I don't feel bad.
Yeah, I feel like actually the person who's been behind, most often has been Rainy for various reasons.
It's amazing because I'm like, I don't feel bad.
Yeah, I was like, if the like all-time host is a little bit behind, I was like, okay, I'm doing great.
I know. My team's killing it too. They'll be like, submitted another bonus. I'm like, I'm glad you're reading for both of us because I'm like just keeping up. Will you be live for 24 hours or just part of the whole readathon? So just part. So I'm live until 8 and then it's going to Bree's channel and then kind of so forth from there until noon tomorrow. So noon.
I believe Neva has like a playlist too. They'll just send you to the next one. So if you want to go to Neva's and you can see the playlist, if you watch us through there, it'll just take you right to Bree's if you want. Yeah.
Should hosts who don't keep up with the room be kicked out and banned from Discord until they complete punishment assignments? No, because, well, we have to moderate the Discord a bit. So I think that would be a bad idea for Rainy, because Rainy would then have to monitor all the different channels in the Discord. So I think that would probably not be a good idea for Rainy.
Yeah, that would be the biggest punishment for Rainy of all people.
For Rainy specifically, yeah. So.
Yeah, but Shannon keeps coming up with the most chaotic. Like she wants it to be like the most chaotic readathon ever. I love it.
I know, it's almost like we should have a readathon that's just like pure chaos and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. You just have to guess. Keep up. No one knows what's happening next, even the host.
Yeah. Good incentive to, I guess, keep reading and like not fall behind, because it's kind of like almost like a Survivor type style where it's like you get kicked off if not.
Yeah, exactly.
I was the same with audiobooks, but I found coloring while listening helped. Yes, I used to love coloring and doing puzzles actually while listening to audiobooks. So yeah, it has to be kind of like mindless task. Dishes is another thing where I'll listen while doing dishes, but anything where I need to think, I can't. Even driving is hard sometimes because like, I want to pay attention to driving, obviously, so I don't want to get too focused on the story. So
especially when there's a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
Like if it's easy road, but as soon as there's multiple lanes and I'm kind of aware of what other people are doing, I'm like, I don't know what's happening on this audiobook. I'm gonna have to start the chapter over, and I just give up. Yeah.
I know. Like being safe is more important for me. I know a lot of people can though listen to audiobooks, but it's just not me while driving. Shannon says a chaos agent. I know. I think there are members of each group who are picking up the slack, and that's okay. I have time this week, so I'm trying to read more to wake up for those who count. Yeah, exactly. Like this weekend, I'm hoping to finish this and do a bonus book so I can at least kind of get in. I keep saying like my next room book is going to be a bit shorter, so then I can get a bonus, and then nothing seems to work since I said that. So it's just how it is.
Yeah, I know. And the thing too is you can be strategic where, if it's like a 500-page book, but it doesn't fit any of the extra prompts, then it's not it's like it's the equivalent to say a 300-page book if you hit two extra kind of bonuses. So it's like you can be strategic, but it's just depending on the combination of the book and if it has to fit the prompt, which is tough.
I know. And like this time I was like, okay, let's look at host favorites, like all the different other options. I'm like, literally nothing. This prompt is the hardest. So I'm like, nothing fits it. Besides, I had like 4 books. I had 4 books that fit it, like on my TBR. It was just like crazy. And that's like, I have 160 books unread. So out of 164 books were the only ones that hit it. It's insane. I'm like,
that's how I was with room 2 for us, the one I mentioned. I literally didn't have anything. And
I wonder if that's.
I don't think
it's interested to talk after we all like get through it. It's going to be so fun to kind of discuss and see which rooms were like harder for some people, because I can't really say anything about the prompt, but it could be harder for one person, easy for another, like all prompts, right? Depending on your TBR and what you have on your shelves. So
for sure. Yeah. It would be fun if, I don't know how many people would care, but to have almost like a live show where like all of the hosts were together and us kind of admitting like, oh yeah, we were in this room next. And then kind of talking about like, oh, I knew it. Or I had no idea what we had. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be really fun. No problem, Neva. That's totally fine. I'm going to do an hour next sprint so you can have more time to nap. I mean, I'm not doing it because of that. I have to run out, but it'll be an advantage. Organizing papers in my living room to spread out using the floor as a giant table before getting back to Legends and Lattes. Oh, I hope you like that. I enjoyed that. That was like a 4-star read for me.
Cool.
Bree finished part 2. I didn't think this book was that long, but it's Bible thin pages, so yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. Mine are those like
nice and kind of thick.
Yeah, which I actually love. I love the textured look, but a lot of people don't like that.
Yeah, I do. It makes it look a bit older. I don't know, like
I love it. Yeah. Few books that meet 3 bonus prompts, but they haven't met the main book prompts yet. Still hoping they fit at some point. Okay, so they probably will then at some point.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna switch the timer to an hour.
Sounds good. Yeah, this is gonna probably be a dinner sprint for me too. I'll listen to the audiobook as I cook. So
Yeah, we all have the dinner sprint.
Mm.
Okay, so I'll see everybody in an hour. Hello.
I had dinner, which was lovely. I think I ate too much though. I'm now like so full, so I might have to make myself like a decaf coffee just to kind of like settle everything.
Yeah.
But I ended up getting about 20 more pages done, so I'm almost at page 50.
Nice.
And yeah, it's really interesting. Like I think I'm enjoying it, but I don't think it's for the faint of heart because
Okay.
there's already been certain images where like content warnings would be involved, but it surrounds this kind of weird mystery where this older man. It's set in Trinidad, and he's kind of gone insane, but then he goes missing, and his wife is like this younger wife, and she doesn't really know what to do, and so she kind of just like, I'm just gonna say he's gone away for a while, and just she's kind of hoping he's dead, but she doesn't know what that means, if someone killed him. And then there's this note that she just got that says that she's being blackmailed potentially, like they want $3,000. Meanwhile, there's another family, and I'm just like, I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, like it's a murder mystery, but it's all laying the groundwork of just the complicated life of this community, I think, first. So I am enjoying it. Like it's really interesting. How did you do?
Oh, I did good. So I had to run out, so I didn't get too much read. We're kind of on the same. I'm at page 49, so we're very similarly going through it. I'm loving this. This is so good so far. I loved the first book I read from Darby Kane, Pretty Little Wife. I found it was like so different because domestic thrillers can kind of all blend together and be very similar. I found that one really unique. So when Neva said that this one was completely different than that one, I knew that I'd probably like it because I like when authors don't write the same story over and over in different books. Like it's very different. So I'm really loving it so far.
Yay, that's exciting. Yeah, I definitely I tried Pretty Little Life once, and I didn't DNF it because of any reason. I was listening to the audiobook, and it was really interesting. And then again the audiobook went away, and I was like, well, and then I haven't picked it up again. But what it reminded me of, and not really in story, but like plotting, but tone, kind of made me think of Gone Girl, like tone wise.
Yes, I'm getting Gone Girl vibes from this too.
Okay.
And that's what I got from Pretty Little Wife too. I thought it was better than Gone Girl.
Oh, that's good to know. Maybe I'll pick it up again because I wasn't disliking it when I was kind of figuring it out and seeing what was going on. But yeah, I felt like the domestic couple, I was like, there's some interplay here where there's layers between this woman and her husband.
You had to stay focused or like you could miss a very crucial point basically. Yeah, it's one of those. Where did we leave off? Oh no, I got that one. Yeah, okay. Lexi said just took a shower, meant for it to be a quick one, but then just didn't want to get out for 40 minutes. I find this the case in winter. Like I do not want to get, especially when you're cold, getting into the shower. It's like a nightmare to get back out. So
yeah. Because you feel so calm and relaxed, and you're like, well, once I get out, I'll be freezing for a second. And it's the worst.
I know. Just arrived, treatment done, drove home, supper done, and now ready to read some. Nice. Didn't read that sprint, but got a video edited. That's still productive.
Yeah, good job.
Tina's joining back, and now I was watching Nicole stitch and chat. Nice. This evening, I'm trying to finish Bryony and Roses by T. Kingfisher. Nice. Have you read that, Leandra?
I haven't, but what I was going to say potentially was that I want to try something by T. Kingfisher really badly. I think T. Kingfisher has written quite a few kind of like horror novellas, like short ones. And so I feel like it's really accessible where you sound like you're dedicating yourself to this long, crazy novel. I think a more tame one that I've heard is it the Hedgethorn?
Oh,
is that what it's called?
I'm not sure. I don't read thrillers, so like as soon as I saw, I was like, nope, this isn't me.
Yeah, but I've heard people recommended to me, depending on my type of reading, that the one that's called like Hedgethorn is a bit more kind of cozy, campy. Okay. I was like, okay, I feel like I might
maybe start there, yeah. And
yeah.
Julie made dinner and was distracted by talking to my sister. Got back to reading though. I think we all kind of had a few distractions there. It happens. Sarah just got home to the start of Thanksgiving break. Nice. Had Mexican delivered for dinner. Ooh. and reading Steel Scars, a Red Queen novella, so I can read Glass Sword for room 6. Nice.
Woohoo, very nice.
Got to 60% of what we kept to ourselves. I'm not sure how I'm feeling about it, to be honest. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I wonder what's making you of two minds about it. Yeah. Like, is there? Can you even pinpoint it? Maybe you can't. Maybe that's the issue. You can't.
True. Maybe it's like a spoiler if.
Yeah, and we're just like, okay, never mind. Don't tell us.
Or sometimes you can't even put your finger on exactly, what bothers you. Like you're like, it's just not doing it, but like you don't know what. Yeah, for sure. ML did dishes, cleaned the kitchen, and put the bedding in the wash. I'm also 7 hours into my audiobook, 26-hour audiobook. Wow. It's The Thinking Woman's Guide to Real Magic. That is crazy.
Yeah, that must be massive. I feel like if you were to hold the book, because 26 hours, that's more than double. Like, I feel like usually I listen to audiobooks that are like maybe 9-10 hours at most.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think Iron Flame's a long one too. I think
it was like 20 something as well. You're right.
Yeah,
I think Fourth Wing, it was like 21, and I was like, oh my gosh.
28 hours, yeah.
Okay.
But I don't listen I listen usually at 2 times speed. So it's really like cut in half, but that's still long, very long.
Yeah, it's still like half a day, more than half a day that you just would be sitting there if you did it in one sitting.
Y'all are so close to convince me to read Darby Kane. I really want to get into thrillers soon. Yeah, it's honestly like I put this one off for a long time, but I'm glad I'm reading it. But Pretty Little Wife is like one of my favorite thrillers of all time, so I highly recommend. 60 pages left in my book. Oh, you're almost there. Submitted my book for room 6, finished it during this first sprint. Oh, nice. Or not first sprint, but the sprint.
Yeah.
I read Nettle and Bone in July and loved it. Not horror fantasy with some creepiness. Thorn Hedge, a little creepier than Nettle and Bone. Also Minor Mage and Toad Words. Love her book so far.
Okay, good to know. So those might be the two T. Kingfisher I think about. Like I'll think about reading either Nettle and Bone or Thorn Hedge. Those sound like they're for me.
It's meant to be a mystery thriller, but it's more of a little more introspective and not as much thriller and mystery as I was expecting.
Okay. That makes sense. Sometimes, when they like they're thrillers and it's like psychological, but it gets too much into the psychology.
Yeah. It depends. I sometimes like that. I sometimes don't. It's really weird. Like my taste isn't the same always with thrillers. It's odd. I don't know. It either works or it doesn't for me.
Yeah. Or it's like a weird thing where like it kind of fits the genre, but it doesn't. Like earlier this year, like I think in January or February, I read, it was called The Thing in the Snow, and it was described as like it was described as a thriller, and I was like, yeah, it's eerie, but I was like, but I don't know if I would describe it in the same kind of thriller as like domestic thriller where it's a bit more actiony. And I was like, is this a thriller or is it just getting in my head? Like it's all it is. It's just it's a weird one. So I kind of get it.
Brittany is a Beauty and Beast reimagining, very good and quirky so far with some mystery elements. Nice. Yeah, if that wasn't horror, I would probably be convinced to read it, but I know I don't like horror, so. I wasn't cold getting in. It's actually still warm here today, like in the 60s warm, which is usually 40 at this time of year. Wow, okay, that is pretty warm, I think. I go by Celsius, so I try to convert in my head, but I know that I'm not probably doing 100% accurately, but.
Yeah, I used to live somewhere where we use Celsius, and I just remember in my mind, I was like, 22 degrees Celsius is 70 degrees Fahrenheit. And I just kind of would figure it out.
I try to like go really quick in my head. I'm like, I don't
know. I have like those pinpoints, and I'm like, okay, if it's a number between these two numbers that I know about, and I kind of know where we're at. So I'm like, I don't know. Yeah.
I know. I'm like, I could sit down and like do it on a calculator, but right now I'm like, I don't know in my head. If a character based on your personality was in a horror film, would that character survive, and how would they survive? They would absolutely not survive. If they were me, I know it. Like,
oh no, Kelsey.
Okay, I don't know, because I feel like I'm very logical where I always, when I watch horror films, so I watch horror films sometimes, but I don't read horror books. So
Mm-hmm.
because books, I find like movies go really quick and I hate the anticipation, the build up to it. So for books, like reading even some thrillers, it's like, okay, just get on with it. Like I don't like that build up, waiting and that anxiety building. Like some people love that. I hate it. So movies, they run pretty quick. So like you're not waiting for a long period of time. So I consider myself like I yell at the characters and they're like, turn on the light, don't do that, don't do that, like everything they're doing wrong. So I feel like maybe I would survive because I wouldn't do those stupid things that a lot of people don't do in movies. But honestly, I'm a scaredy cat. Like, so I feel like I would just be like, just kill me and get it done with because I don't want the anxiety for this.
I'm over here.
I know. How about you?
For me, I actually I feel pretty confident. I think I could make it. I feel like I could survive. But I also like you, I was like, if I were sitting here right now and a door just opened on its own, I'd be like, I'm not gonna go investigate. Are you kidding me right now?
Like, they go right in, and I'm like, I would be going the other way.
Yeah, I'd be like, okay, so I'm gonna go out this door instead and just be like, you can have my apartment.
I know, and they investigate with the lights off, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. Or like, splitting up. Never split up.
Oh,
never do any of those things. I would just, I feel like you and I think together we
Yes, I was just gonna say us together or like with a group would be fine, but on my own, I would be like, I would think I would probably give myself a heart attack potentially before.
Yeah, I'd probably like die in another way, and the killer's on the other side of the house, and they'd be like, that wasn't me. Like, what was she doing? And I'd be like, I don't know what I'm doing.
I know. I love Shannon's questions. They're so creative.
Yeah, me too.
Got to 42% of Never Met a Duke Like You by Emily Howard. How are you liking that? I'm curious. Lexi will be listening to Out of His League and wrapping Christmas presents in the next month. Wow, you're ahead of the game. I have not even started Christmas shopping yet. I need to. So
me neither. I know. I was thinking that too. I'm like, especially for us in the US with Thanksgiving coming up,
that's all kind of deals, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not someone who goes on like Black Friday shopping,
but online, I feel like there would be deals.
Yeah, like Cyber Monday or Cyber Week. I'm like, okay, if I can find some things, I'll do it.
Yeah, that's a good idea actually. And even because like my boyfriend and then some family members were asking what I want, and I was just thinking, Cyber Monday might have deals. So like if I want some books, like I can just kind of be like, buy it now so it's cheaper for you, like instead of waiting. Because like closer it gets to Christmas, I find there's less sales on books and stuff like that. So it's like if they can save money by getting it now, like all for that.
I agree.
No, it's more about family drama. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So maybe mislabeled.
Kind of. That's seeming. Also watch a guy on Twitch diamond painting. Nice. Everyone's into the diamond painting. I love it.
I know we're in our diamond painting era.
I don't think I'll get into it like personally. I like watching it, but I can't commit myself to that kind of task because I don't want to become addicted to something that takes away from all the other things I have to do.
Yeah, I'm the same, especially because I get hyper fixated on things sometimes. Like when I start a puzzle, I can't. Every time I walk past, I can't. I've got to like spend hours standing there doing it, and it's just that's all I think about. So yeah,
and then I don't get anything done. Yeah, I know. And it's like I like audiobooks, but I love physically reading. Like that's my favorite way. So it would take away from like my favorite hobby. So
relaxing time and sitting.
Exactly. Yeah. He is doing a mystery one. You don't know what it is till you finish it. It's cool. Oh, nice.
That is cool.
Oh my gosh, apparently I muted guys and have been just reading away. Not sure how many chats I missed, but I got 9 or 10 pages read. Well, that's fair. I mean, I don't think you missed too much in here. I'm sure the book is probably more entertaining.
The only thing that might have been fun to watch is us discussing whether we'd survive a horror film or not.
Yes.
That was entertaining, possibly, and then that's it.
Yeah. We were on a sprint for an hour too, so like I feel like you might not have missed as much as you thought. It's not horror. She does a lot of fantasy. I don't read horror at all. Okay. So maybe I could get into this then.
Yeah, cool.
like 15 or 16 Celsius here today when it's usually 4. Okay, so yeah, it's around like Celsius here. So definitely quite cold. Yeah, I've had this book in my physical T-Bear for over 5 years, I bet, and I just found an audiobook copy of it, so it's happening. Okay, well, yeah.
Very
In
nice.
28 hours, I'm sure you can do it. I'm sure.
That's a good way to get through huge ones, depending on if you're willing to do it.
Yeah, it's
this
brutal.
one I'm thinking about doing that with. If I can.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It's so long. It's like over 1,000 pages, and I just don't know. I don't know. I believe in myself. I can do it one day.
If I were in a horror film, I would be the person who says I'm going home at the beginning of the film, never to see again. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be the one who just comes back in the morning being like, what happened to everybody? Oh,
yeah.
Well.
I'm the person that dies in a horror situation because they fell down the stairs. Oh my God, that's funny.
Oh no.
But not actually. Like if it actually happened, it would not be funny, but
yeah.
Oh, I don't have all my Christmas presents bought. Still have to get one more thing for 2 of my sisters, my mom, stepmom, dad, step-grandma, grandma, godparents. Okay, so you're not fully done. Yeah, I haven't shopped at all, but I did ask a few people what they wanted, and they did give ideas. So now I'm gonna start shopping.
Good. Yeah, it's always good when people willingly give. I'm just tell me what you want. Like
I know I hate buying stuff that I don't know if you'll like, and I hate getting stuff too that like I'm not actually gonna use. Like now, I feel like okay, Surprise Me like was fine like in my early 20s, but now it's like I have too much stuff that like I just give me a book, just give me a gift card. Like I'm good.
Yeah. Like I'll give you a list of 20 things.
Yes.
If you give me a couple of those, it's still a surprise. I don't know what it is, but it's an approved list where we're not wasting. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. For sure. Only got stuff really for my brothers and niece so far. Okay, so you're ahead of the game, I feel like a little bit. And you wrap as you get them, whereas I buy and then wrap all in one shot, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah, same. It's like you've got to spend an entire night. You're like, okay, tonight we're wrapping. That's what we're doing. Yeah,
I know. I am loving it. I'm not usually a historical romance lover, but it has a cartoon cover, so it caught my attention. It is quite funny, and the characters are really likable. Oh, nice. Mm-hmm. Hello, Coda. Hello. I'm reading Family Lore, driving home from work. I put this down 2 months ago because it wasn't driving on print, but it's working on audio. Oh, nice. Well, I'm glad you're liking it now. Yeah, some books are like just better one way than another. Like for me, it's often the other way around. Like I'll try to listen on audio with reading, and sometimes voices don't work for me, or maybe it's the way it's read. Like it just doesn't work. So I'm like, okay, no, I'll hate it if I keep listening to audio. So I'm just gonna go to physical.
Totally. Yeah. And that's just when the narrator narrator enhances, can just be like, oh, it's fine, or it really can like ruin a listen. Yeah. Mine actually, for Hungry Ghosts, the narrator, as soon as I started listening, I was like, I recognize this person's voice, and it's an actor who I like. So it all works out really well.
Yeah.
So I was like, I feel like I know who he is. And then I looked him up. I'm like, yep, I know who that actor is. So that worked out for me.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I can go both ways. It's going to be hard for me to do presents this year as I move in countries. Oh, yeah, that would be... Well, maybe you could just ask for gift cards, or maybe like delayed gifts. Like you could ask or get delayed gifts for people. Like ask for delayed gifts, because when you're moving, you're going to need stuff probably when you get there. So then people could get you gifts, and then vice versa. Like you could wait till you're settled in and then just do late gifts. I find people don't really, well, my family at least doesn't really care. Like if it's a little delayed, it's like not a big deal. And I feel like most people are the same way, especially when something big is going on, like you're moving.
Yeah, moving countries, it's going to be expensive. You're going to have to probably buy new things. Like I know you're returning to Australia, and so it's not like it's a whole new country, but you still have to get supplies, and it's a lot of expense anyway. So it's tough.
Exactly. And like the thing is, you could even skip, like ask if people want to skip. Like I've done that with some of my friends where it's like when you're like they're having a hard time money wise, I'm like, okay, let's just skip like the gifts. Like I won't get you anything, you don't get me anything. Call it even.
Yeah.
And like
Just have it
that's
like an event. Like
Yeah.
just have a really lovely evening where you plan a bunch of things for fun together, and then but it depends on if you're able to do that and willing to do
Yeah,
it.
exactly. I don't have the patience for diamond painting. Years ago, everyone was doing coloring books and it was puzzles. I wish I did puzzles, but my discipline and my disapproving cat make it impossible. Yeah, that's fair. I get in little like fixes. Like I was on a puzzle fix for like a year or two around like 2020 COVID time. Like I was really into puzzles that year. And then I got into reading 2021 and I've been doing that since. So I haven't really gotten into anything like else since then, but
Yeah. I think I it's helpful when I'm into an audiobook mood because then I can do puzzles and I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't have pets currently, but I understand that, the dog or the cat can suddenly take a piece and then it's gone, and that would be very frustrating.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that would be so frustrating, especially for people who like make it and then put it as a picture like on their wall.
Yes.
So that would be really, really, really frustrating. Yeah. I'm wrapping because I want to use the presents for decoration under my tree. Ooh, that's a good idea.
I love that. Using other people's presents or that you intend to give, being like, I might as well use it while I got it.
Yeah, honestly. My family makes Amazon wish lists. So for Christmas and birthdays, we just go to the wish list and pick things. That's a really great idea because once you buy it, then it removes it from the wish list. So then like people won't duplicate. So that is a really, really good idea.
And you can still do kind of like where you're not notified, so you don't
Yeah.
know if it's
Exactly. It's still a surprise. Kind of like it could be one of these items, but you don't know which. Yeah.
Yeah, I have that with Bookshop for books. I have the Bookshop wish list.
Nice. Leandra, I also have
it's one Q84. It's the it's just one Q84. I don't. It's supposed to be. It's like an alternate universe of 1984. Like that's where it comes from apparently. So yeah. But oh my gosh, I haven't gotten around to it. But we'll conquer. You know what, Chrissy? I believe in you. I believe in me. We can do it. It's just gonna have to be something where I'm like, this is the month I dedicate to this.
Yeah.
I may not like anything else.
Don't have any other expectations. Yeah.
Yep. So we can do it, Chrissy. I believe in us. So heavy.
Leandra, how often do you guess the identity of the murder in your murder mystery books?
That's a good question. I think it depends on. I think with modern mysteries, I'm a lot actually better at it. I was keeping a tally, and I think at one point I was guessing about. I think my percentage was about like half of the books, half of the mysteries I was reading. Close to maybe 2/3. I will say with cozies, it's very rare that I don't know who it is.
Yeah.
I feel like it's very obvious. And with certain modern like thrillers, like for instance, what was one? I was talking to a friend of mine that we were reading it together, What Lies in the Woods, which is super fun.
Oh, yes. How did you like that?
I really enjoyed it, but I wasn't aware of like the kind of reason why some people don't like it spoiled. But like I think it was the first couple chapters and I pinpointed this character. I was like, I don't like them. There's this thing that I was like, this is 100% how it's going to end up being. This is what it is. And my friend who had read it before me, I was telling her, I was like, I'm just going to tell you what my thoughts are. You can just be plain faced. And so I told her, she's like, okay. And then I finished it and I was right. She's like, you guessed so early. And I was like, I knew it. It's just because my brain, I'm always like trying to puzzle it together. And I'm usually pretty satisfied even if I get it right. It's just, if it's super obvious and the person's not even, then I'm kind of like, okay. Like with Sundown Motel, I remember I was more annoyed because it was so obvious that I was like, what's the mystery? What are we even trying to figure out? But yeah. So I'm pretty proud. I will say Agatha Christie is the one who typically stumps me, but everyone else I tend to be pretty confident. But maybe I'm being too cocky, Shannon. We gotta reel it in. We gotta reel it in. I'm not that.
Well, it gets easier the more you read. I find it gets easier because, well, it's hard to like write unique thrillers after a certain point, right? Like everything's kind of been done and all that. So I find like especially when you read a lot of mystery thrillers, you can kind of start piecing things together a little bit easier. I find it's gotten like harder on my ratings too. Like at the beginning, I almost like rated thrillers like easier, and now it's it's just all books in general. Like I find my taste and like how I like things, like everything at the beginning of starting to get back into reading was like, wow, this is amazing. And then now it's a little different. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think my expectations have changed where if I guess who it is, like who the killer is, if it's a thriller, if it's a murder mystery, like I have a really high percentage of getting that. I think I'm lowballing it by saying 50%, but the how done it, if we're seeing like how it's done, I usually can guess and I'm not really as good at that. So I'm okay with it. But if I know exactly how it's done, by who, all these things, I'm like, okay. So
like you feel like you're just reading it, like, and it's kind of a waste. Like you know exactly where it's going to. Yeah. I actually read this one book. What's the name of it? It was a popular one, Magpie. And
was it Magpie Murders?
Yeah, no, not Magpie Murders, just Magpie by Elizabeth Day, I think. And it was revealed early on what the thriller was, like purposefully. So then I thought we were kind of going to go back and like, but that didn't happen. It was just like revealed, and then it went on for like 150 pages of like what happened afterward, but no other twist really. And I was like, this just didn't work for me. Like I would,
like I you got too much information too quickly.
Like kind of go back in time almost, or figure out. Yeah, it wasn't like that. So that one was actually kind of disappointing for me because you just found out and then nothing else really happened.
Yeah, and I think it just depends. Like, I mean, this book, some people love it, some people hate it, but like A Secret History, Donna Tartt. That's kind of like dark academia, but it's not really a whodunit, it's a howdunit. Like it's very clear from the beginning that someone was murdered. We know who did it, but the entire book is someone telling you, and like you're discovering how, like why they did it pretty much, and how it was done. And so like as you're watching this character, you're like, I know you're gonna die, but I just don't know why. So
I like that. Yeah,
it's well done because it goes back to before the person's dead, and then you're just watching them all interact with this person, knowing that they're gonna die. So that one was cool, but it's done a better way than, because there's more mystery than just being like, hey, here's everything. Now we're just gonna putter around and
for sure. This is full cast, and Elizabeth Acevedo is one of the narrators, and I love her as both an author and narrator.
Cool. Awesome.
That's a great idea. I was planning on crafting everybody in my family a Christmas present, but I definitely started too late, so I think I will have to give people presents later in the year. Yeah, that's totally fair. Shelby is deterred by diamond painting because it's sticky. Cats don't tend to like sticky things. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I've been doing Amazon wish list for gifts I want since I was like 12. Once I learn them about Santa, LOL 84.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's better than 1984.
Yeah, we'll see. I haven't read 1984. The only book I've read by George Orwell, right, is Animal Farm. That's the only thing I've read.
I read Animal Farm and I read 1984, but I read them back in like 10.
Was it like in school?
Yeah, it was like more than 10 years ago, like 12 years ago, 13 years ago. So it's been a while. So I remember like the end result and like kind of the lesson of the book and all that, but I don't really remember details. So I'd love to like reread some of those books. Like also like The Road, I think it's called, is another classic. Outsiders, like I'd love to read some of those. I know The Outsiders is Amy's one of Amy's host favorites, but I don't have it, so I was like, I'm not going to get it right now. But I was hoping that I could find it on my library, but unfortunately, it's not available right now, so it's not going to work. But I want to read some of the classics again,
especially now that we aren't in school. Like I feel like I just had a different perspective. Sorry if you can hear the traffic outside. I like with Animal Farm, I never read that in school, but I did read it. I was like, so I've been slowly trying to go through classics, but it's tough to make myself read classics. But I did end up enjoying it as much as you can enjoy Animal Farm. Like it was really thoughtful. Like it was a page turner, was super quick. Like there's so many important lessons in it. But it's also one of those where it's meant to make you uncomfortable. I want to get through those and like appreciate them as an adult. Whereas a student, you're just like, I'm being forced to read this and
my problem was like with certain ones like The Outsiders, I was so hooked on that, but you're only supposed to read like 5 chapters in a night. And then it's like, then you have to write all this stuff about those 5 chapters. And like, I just wanted to read the book through, not like 5 chapters and stop and then try to read it next week. And it's like, you forget details and all that. Like I like reading it straight through. So that's what I didn't really enjoy about school, where it's like, you kind of had to stop reading and force yourself, or you keep reading and then you have to go back to like read that one chunk. So I wanted to love it so much, but I hated 1984 Fair.
Yeah, I can understand that.
My speech to text picked up y'all saying 84. Okay, I was wondering.
I saw 84 and I was like, what is that?
I was like, what is that for? But then I saw the next comment, so I was like, maybe they like somehow mixed up. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was confused. Same Leandra. I would say 50% of the time with cozy mysteries, I guess the killer, but I very rarely guess the motive. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I think there's different reasons why you can enjoy a mystery, even though you're good at guessing the who. There's so many other things. So there's that way if people get frustrated with guessing the who a lot. It's just like, good for you. That's okay. Start guessing other things. Challenge yourself in other ways.
Yeah, I know a lot of people like go into thrillers trying to guess specifically, but I don't really go into like the thriller like really guessing. Like I just let it like the thoughts kind of like as the story kind of goes. Like if I guess it, then it's very obvious, I feel like, because I don't like try to guess it. Like I just kind of like read it and see what happens. But if I'm like guessing it, because I don't put a lot of thought into guessing it, then that means it's really obvious.
Yeah, I think it's because I started with mysteries and went into thrillers that my brain is like, it has to try to guess, but I'm really good about knowing that even if I guess it, that's not how I rate thrillers. So
yeah. Like I do try to guess when it gets close to the end, like what is I more so try to guess, like who did it and like what, like why, I guess, why it happened or how it happened. But like I only do that at the end. I don't do that like throughout the whole book. Yeah, like because I kind of wait and see, because I know a lot of times I used to like guess at the beginning and then more information. So I just like I'm along for the ride. Hello, home from work and grocery shopping, ready to do some reading. Nice. What are you reading? I think you might have told us, or maybe a Neva Sprints I read, but I completely forget. Animal Farm is one of my least favorite books of all time. 1984 is one of my favorites. Wow. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, that's fair, honestly.
Yeah. And again, like, it's Animal Farm. It's not a book I would ever want to reread. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, once you read it once, you're like, okay, I've been impacted. I'm good.
Yeah. Animal Farm, out of like the classics that I read in high school, Animal Farm would definitely be on my lower. I do want to reread the classics, but it's not like high up on my list. Like The Road, Outsiders, those are more like on my top. And 1984 probably too.
Yeah, I definitely like 1984.
To Kill a Mockingbird is a book I keep coming back to. Oh, I totally forgot about this one. This was another one that I actually really enjoyed reading in high school.
Yeah, that one was good.
I think I would have liked 1984 better if I liked or cared about all the characters. Okay, yeah.
Should I read 1984 before I read IQ 84? Is there a connection? Kind of. I know that this is Murakami and it's Japanese. It's written in Japanese, translated. But was he possibly influenced by that? I don't know. Maybe I'll look into. Because what are the chances?
There's also that other 1984 newer book written by. Who is it written by? Does anyone know what I'm talking about? It's it's Julia something maybe. Hold on. It's Julia something, I think. Okay, I'm gonna find it. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, maybe it's not called 1984, but it's kind of based on that storyline. But another author wrote it kind of as like a retelling almost.
Okay. Like heavily inspired.
Yeah. I don't actually know what it's about. For some reason I feel like it was like I don't even know, honestly. I'm gonna find it
I
now.
believe you though. I think I remember there being a discussion of it being like
Yeah.
remade in some way.
Yeah, and it was almost, I think, from like a woman's point of view, maybe. I don't know. It's kind of like coming back to me. If anyone knows, I'd love if you would pop it in here because it's bothering me now. I did not like Great Gatsby in high school. I didn't read that one. Loved reading as an adult. I think I hated it in school because it took us 9 weeks to read a 100-page book. Yes. I was like, I want to read it in 2 days.
Yeah, and you're just like busy doing a bunch of other things. So as soon as you put it down, you're thinking about other stuff, and then you're trying to get back into it, and you're like, "What
You're
are
kind
we
of in and
doing?"
out of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
One book, or the books I actually did not like reading, was like any Shakespeare book in high school. I actually despised reading because maybe it was my teacher, but he would make us like dissect the meaning to another degree. Like it was like so intense, and I was like, it drove me insane because I'm like, how is there like 7 meanings to this one book? Like it was like you had to think so outside of the box, and like it was just crazy. So and like our mark depended on it. So at a certain point I was like, how many meanings can I come up with for this one book when I don't 100% understand that
language, the
language
syntax.
completely? Yeah. So those ones I didn't really enjoy, but I wouldn't be against reading them again now. But I just didn't enjoy them back then.
Yeah, with that, I took a Shakespeare course last spring during my master's, and what was so helpful is that our professor, one, it was the histories, which honestly I hate so much, but I appreciate that I learned about them, but the comedies as well. And he encouraged at the beginning, he was like, get the audiobooks, listen while you read, or watch like a full-on play as you do it. He's like, this was designed to be watched, to be listened to. So you shouldn't just be sitting and reading the book. And I was like, thank you so much for validating that. Like you're encouraging us to do this, to grasp it. He's like, have the book in front of you, follow along. But yeah, watch a YouTube like version of it. That's where I found a David Tennant version of what is it? The one with Benedict and Beatrice. Why can't I remember? Much Ado About Nothing. So yeah, David Tennant, the actor, he played Benedict, and it was really fun. It was like a 1980s version. They totally switched it up, and I literally watched that one and fully understood Much Ado About Nothing because of it. So like, yeah, you can have a fun time with it, but Shakespeare, I don't think it's not meant to just be read either. So
yeah, definitely not. Yeah, and that was the point of like school books too, to really get you thinking and all that. And I don't know, they weren't for me at that time. Like I would prefer like How to Kill a Mockingbird. Is that it? To Kill a Mockingbird?
To Kill a Mockingbird.
Outsiders, The Road, like those was my style, I guess, in high school. So.
Yeah.
But again, I wouldn't be opposed to trying it now. Oh wait, I missed that one comment. When I was in high school, the yearly books were The Outsiders, To Kill a Mockingbird, 1984, and Things Fall Apart. I haven't heard of Things Fall Apart.
I have. I can't say who the author is now. I can't remember it, but that one's also a classic that exists. It's just there's so many classics that you'll see. Yeah. It's so often how some books are mentioned and some aren't. Yeah. Like for instance, I didn't read any George Orwell throughout my entire high school career.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't offered. Right, yeah. I think it was like optioned. Like where I remember there was like a book report where you could choose a bunch of classics, and the one I chose was The Great Gatsby. But that means anyone who didn't read The Great Gatsby, and so we had to kind of choose. And I guess it allowed us choice, which was nice. But it's just interesting to be like, would I have liked another book, or should I have chosen a different one? So now I got to go back and try to read. So anyway,
yeah. I think most of, not all of these books are banned somewhere in the US. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me, honestly. I honestly, there's some books that are banned and I'm just like, why? Like, I guess, no, I don't even get it. I can't even justify some of the books being banned.
They give reasons, but you're like,
they do, but I don't get that. I don't understand reasons. Great Gatsby has the most overrated book. I dislike that book so much. Okay. I have not read it, but
yeah, it's really short. So if you do want to get through it, like you can. Okay. So that's pretty good. Yeah.
Google says they are related. Okay. So maybe
I'll read 1984 first.
Yeah.
And then Chrissy, Chrissy, maybe you should too, because you were saying you need to read 1Q84. So maybe we both should read 1984 first and then dive into it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Might go back to Great Gatsby if you recommend it highly. Okay, so a 1984 graphic novel adaptation. Okay, that's a really good idea because I feel like that would be more digestible for a lot of people to read.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, if you like it enough, it might help you then if you want to go back to the more traditional version. Like I feel like you can use graphic novels just like movies to kind of get the gist of things and then go back and read. Like I think I liked Sense and Sensibility better after I watched like the TV series from the BBC. And I was like, oh, I like this better now.
Yeah. It says you don't have to read 1984, so confusing. Okay, so maybe, I don't know, maybe if you feel like doing it, read it.
Yeah.
School honestly made me hate reading. Yeah, so basically I used to love reading in elementary and middle school, and then we were kind of forced to read in high school, and then college, obviously, college and university, you had to read a lot. So I feel like I just got out of reading and I started not enjoying it because I was forced into reading 24/7, and then I got back into it recently. But yeah, school totally does make you hate reading because you do it so much.
Oh, 100%. I don't know why I went to college as an English major only because I had to do that in order to get into the creative writing track because I got my major in creative writing. And I'm like, I'm really lucky that after college I started loving reading because I wasn't that into it. I only read because I wanted to be like a writer, and it's very funny how cyclical it is.
Yeah, it really is. There's a book called The Memory Police by Yoko Ogawa. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. That is very 1984 vibes, but a less brain hurty read if that's what y'all are into. Okay.
I've been meaning to read The Memory Police for quite a few years. Obviously haven't, but yeah, that I hear so many good things about that one. That's so interesting. Yeah.
I'm definitely a Shakespeare lover, and I love that so many people love Shakespeare. It's not my thing, but maybe I could probably get more into it if I understood the meaning, which means I would have to just examine the words a lot more. And at this time in my life, I'm like so much reading more for enjoyment that eventually I'll get back to the classics, but probably not right now.
Yeah. So Luna, there's if you're interested, I saw this really interesting, like it's a video documentary. I think it's called Much Ado About Love. And it talks about Much Ado About Nothing, but a bunch of other elements in Shakespeare. And so if you're a Shakespeare lover, I found it really interesting and really informative. So you might. It's on YouTube. It was really good.
I've also never read 1984. I would love to read with y'all.
We should do like a little buddy read for that.
Yeah, you know what? I could get on board actually with reading 1984 if we did it as a buddy read. I definitely could. Yeah, because I need someone to force me to read it.
I wonder, do you know if Brittany from Brittany Loves Reading, if she's read it? Because maybe you could do it for one of your book club picks, and then we all could just read it together with you two.
What? We could do that for the new year. Yeah, we could do that. Okay, let me talk to her and see if I know I don't think she's a classic book lover. So if not, I'll try to put together like a little buddy read. If not, and we can just read it. But yeah. That's a good idea. I love that because then it kind of forces us to like stay on track and actually read it.
Exactly.
I read Pride and Prejudice using Keira Knightley's voice in my head. I found it flowed better and was much easier to understand following a British accent. Yeah,
exactly. We're on the same page, Coda.
Sounds like Leandra needs to do a video and read 1984, 1Q84, and The Memory Police. Yes. And
that would be such an undertaking.
I found the name of the other one. So it's 1984 Julia. So it's
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. That's right. That is like a retelling, and people would appreciate it. You're right.
So that's another one. That one I really want to read. So I wanted to read 1984 before. So that's one that I'm hoping to read.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine reading all 4 of those books in a time period and being able to discuss them. That would be really cool, though.
That would be a good video, honestly. That would be. But it would be like you would have to spread it out, like the filming, because you couldn't do back to back. Well, you could, but you'd probably burn
you'd want
yourself
to take
out.
a break. Yeah, it would be like a longer project, like a
Yeah.
super project, which is something I've never done myself because I'm always like, all right, idea, let's do it, record, boom,
record, film, and
But that does sound really cool.
Get it right out there. Growing up, I had a learning disability, so I never really learned how to read. School made reading not only a chore, but also something I didn't even want to learn how to do. Well, I'm glad you enjoy doing it now, but yeah, I feel like school made everything feel like a chore, like any sort of reading and even like just learning. It felt like such a chore.
Yeah,
and
it's
I
so
feel like I needed
too, like expecting you to hear the same child as every other child when it's like we all have different learning accommodations.
That is so true. Yes.
Yeah,
we're all different, and it's like they just teach us everyone one way. I don't know if school is different now, but like back then it was very much like like one way. And there was like not a lot of assistance at that point for people who needed it. I think there is now more so, but
yeah.
I will have to check that out.
Let's check it out.
I have been reading a few classics every year, just slotting them in. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Smart.
There are some editions of Shakespeare that has each page side by side with the original language on the left and modern on the right. Ooh, thank you. That would be a very good idea because then I can kind of figure out what it means, and then that would be much better. 1984 and 2024.
That does ring really nicely. 1984 in 2024. That has a nice ring to it. You all are. We should collaborate with you all more often and help us make content ideas because that sounds great.
I already have Buddy Reads with Leandra and Brittany, 2 different books in January, maybe December or Feb. I'm thinking February because December gets a lot crazy for people with like Christmas and stuff. And I feel like that would be a good idea for February. So maybe
February gives people time to get the book too if they don't have it and organize it. Yeah, because Coda and I are reading In the Woods by Tana French. Which is a bit like a
yes. Oh, nice. Okay.
I'm excited about it. I think I'll like it. I hope Coda will too. But
not that you have to read Shakespeare. I just thought I would mention. Let me find their names. Yes, thank you. I mean, it's not like high priority for me to read Shakespeare by any means because I have a ton of books.
Yeah, exactly.
But like I do want to eventually get back into like some classics and read them again and see if I enjoy them more now than I did back then because I was forced to read them back then and now it's kind of more of a want. Fun fact, I was born in 1984. Oh, nice.
It's meant to be.
Yes. As it turns out, they're called side by sides, but looks like a couple of publishers make them. Okay, thank you so much, ML. That's super helpful because I didn't know that existed. I know people dissect like the language and like post videos of it. I did know that and like blogs and stuff, but I didn't realize it was like that. The side by sides. It would be a good video for like banned books week during the year. Make it a secret project and work on it slowly in the background. Yeah, that would be a good idea.
And that gives me a lot of time because we just had banned books week not long ago, so it gives me time to kind of organize everything. So I think I might try to do that. But thanks, Jess. I really appreciate you kind of coming up with the idea.
Really quickly before I forget, because we only have a few minutes left, I'm going to pop the link into the chat for Breeze Sprint starting at 8.
Sounds good. Yeah, also that's perfect because I just put 1Q84 on my self-destruct list for 2024. So I was like, if I don't read this year, I'm supposed to get rid of it. So this is all great motivation. So perfect.
Okay, so I just popped that link in there and then we'll wrap this up. Another is Simply Shakespeare. Okay, thank you so much. That's so helpful. It sounds like the 1984 thing is writing itself.
Yeah, honestly, Julie, isn't that crazy? Like that was like, yeah, this all sounds good. Now we've got 4 books.
I know.
We read together.
I honestly don't know how I've been feeling in London for 2 years and only been to the Globe once. Okay. And moving to Australia.
Yeah, moving to Australia. I wonder. I know
that right?
Selena, you're moving quite soon, but it's like you
Yeah.
could always, maybe you could throw in another quick globe visit before you leave.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's tough to organize though.
Yeah, for sure. I use those editions all the time. I think the ones you will find here in Ontario are called No Fear Shakespeare. Okay, thank you. Yeah, because I'm in Ontario, Canada. So that is good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I love that. Now we have like some buddy reads.
Yes, already planning.
So that'll be good. Yeah, because
Well,
I
see
really
if you can
want
get
to
Brittany
read.
on board. See if you can get Brittany on board for
Yes,
February.
I will.
We'll see if she, yeah.
Yeah, I'll try to get Brittany on board. I don't know.
Yeah,
Because I
it
know
could be like a test run, being like, we're gonna see if we enjoy it, and then if it's like,
Yeah.
no, done, you'll never do a classic again. With
Yeah,
your book club.
exactly. I mean, I'm gonna read 1984 regardless because I want to read that other 1984. So, and apparently you're supposed to read that one before you, so you can kind of compare it a little bit. So,
Yeah.
I have seen a lot of shit-faced Shakespeare this year where all the actors are drunk.
Oh my, that actually sounds like a really good time if you know going into it and you're like, yeah, everyone's just at a certain level together.
Yeah, you would have to know going into it. Yeah.
Yeah. Be like, what is Juliet doing? She's just tripped on the stage.
All right, everyone. So I think we'll end here since we're done the comments and everyone can jump over to Breathe Sprints. Thank you so much for joining everyone in the comments. And Leandra, thank you. And Neva. Neva probably won't hear that, but because she's sleeping. But I'm sure she'll pop over for Breathe and everyone else's. Again, we're going till noon. Well, it's not all of us going the whole 24 hours, but there will be sprints until noon EST. Usually Neva's in all of them and then jumps in and out. So yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. And Leandra, do you want to promote anything? Are you doing sprints in the near future?
We're doing sprints on Sunday for Ice Planet Barbarians, starting on Brittany's channel for about 6 hours. And then we're going to be on my channel for probably around that time as well. So it's going to be a very long day. And I also happen to have an announcement video happening on Sunday.
Yes.
So if anyone's interested, you can click notify. It's at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Even if you don't end up being excited about it or doing whatever that thing is, if you could just support it, that'd be really much appreciated. So yeah.
I'm looking forward to and Leandra dropped the link into the Discord, the Get a Clue as well, but it's also obviously on your YouTube. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, thanks.
February is good. Looking forward to In the Woods as well. I bought it when the series based on it came out. Series is supposed to be good too, but I'm waiting to read first before trying. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes, it can motivate us.
So excited for this announcement. Yes. All right, I'm going to end here. Thank you again, everyone, and thank you, Leandra and Neva. Bye.
Bye.